everyone. It's a pleasure for me, Jomi John, to welcome you to yet another point of view from Harbinger Systems. As some of you may already know, the point of view is a forum where we express our point of view on some frequently asked questions on any chosen topic, especially on technology. We have a very trendy and interesting topic lined up for a quick discussion today, which is what is the current state of AI in HR? The HR world which underpins the existence and the growth of any organization, is today getting powered by a really interesting smart technology called as artificial intelligence, of which machine learning is a subset. It is for anyone to see that moving forward, the presence of HR will increasingly be experienced through a combination of human and technological interventions. To AI or not to AI is therefore a question that a lot of organizations are asking themselves today. It would therefore, is what we thought a worthwhile topic to get a first hand overview of whether AI is still enriching the lives of humans, especially those in the remote workplace. Our expert guest today is Mahesh Kumar Kharade, who is solutions architect at Harbinger Systems, who comes with an enviable track record in HRTech integrations. Welcome to this forum, Mahesh.
Thank you, Jomi. I'm really excited to be here today.
And Mahesh, I know that we have been wanting to talk about this topic a lot. But before I begin, we also would like to welcome Shrikant Patatil, who is President Harbinger Systems, and it is a great privilege to have Shrikant as my co-host in this session today. A very warm welcome to you, Shrikant, and thank you so much for accepting this invite.
Hey, pleasure is mine, Jomi, to be on a POV. You've done so many of them, so and Mahesh as well. So it's great honor today to share the dais with you and understand and learn a little bit more about the state of AI. And yeah, before we start, a quick word about Jomi. She's an expert on point of view, as you all know. However, she has a decade long experience in IT consulting, specifically in HR tech and work tech. So look forward to the session.
Great. Thanks so much for that, Shrikant. And Mahesh, let's talk about what you have experienced first. At the outset, I feel there is something that everybody would like to know and they're interested in knowing about is some perspective on the entire AI and the HR space, right? Where and how do you think is AI powering the entire HR workflow space?
Sure, Jomi. I think AI is certainly making significant inroads into the HR domain. In fact, over the last couple of years, we have witnessed an adoption of AI across different types of HR applications, be it ATSs, HRIS, performance management platforms, employee engagement, workforce management, and so on. I think this list can be really long and growing. So I usually like to classify AI usage in HR apps based on the types of activities or functionalities it is used for. Some of the key HR functions leveraging AI are like sourcing and attracting candidates. Different hiring workflow steps are also making use of AI. Then candidate and employee engagement activities, employee retention, and then assistance in development and growth of the employees, even assisting employees and HR in their day-to-day activities, like finding maybe information to the questions they have, maybe getting certain workflows done quickly through the chatbot and things like that. So in a nutshell, I think there could be 2 or 3 different ways in which HR applications are making use of AI. Number one is chatbot for engaging in proactive conversations or interactions. Number two is extracting information from unstructured resumes or similar documents like job descriptions, so on, which essentially is used for the better decision making. And then the third one is about use of recommendation engines, which is based on the machine learning models, where it makes use of the historical data that these HR applications has produced, and then use it to sort of assist the end users in different ways.
Thanks, Mahesh. That's a very interesting perspective to start this discussion on. What I have seen on the ground and I've heard is that Many companies have already started getting into AI and they have invested in HR applications and workflows. However, there is an equal number of companies who have not yet invested in this AI yet. Maybe they're scared that the jobs, of people would be disrupted by AI. So I don't know. Maybe that's true. You have attended so many conferences, so many events. Latest being the HR Open Standards coffee chat. I don't know how you do virtual coffee chats, but yeah, and I hope you had your cup of coffee.
Yes, it was a virtual feeling of having a coffee, Srikant.
Virtual feeling of having a coffee, right? I mean, yeah, hopefully that will change sometime and AI will help us a little bit. But what I wanted to understand from you was, in this specific forum, so what kind of applications that you are hearing are finding like real utility? Have you come across any, and would you like to share that with us today?
Yes, Srikant, and you know what? It was an interesting session where we saw a lot of diverse views surface at that particular chat. Though like different HR applications are providing these AI enabled workflows, most of the focus still remains onto the pre-hire scenarios like sourcing the candidates or matching them to the job descriptions and job positions and so on. Also, apart from the inbuilt features and capabilities that these platforms offer, some of the leaders have mentioned about opting to mix more than one or more AI services to get a better output. So, for example, using an independent resume parsing service to extract and transform candidate details into the singular format. And then this extracted information is passed as an input to the matching algorithm or the service that they are using to sort of shortlist candidates for those open job positions quickly. Now, one important point on these lines everyone agreed to was like not a single platform that exists, or there is like, I mean, in a nutshell, AI is no silver bullet to say. And there is no one fit all solution that exists, at least now. So, be it an application builder or a user, they have to go through multiple cycles and options and then address different challenges that they come across along the way so that they can have at least a usable AI solution for their needs.
Absolutely. And I think, we have heard many of our customers also saying the same thing. And I feel that, you mentioned that AI is not, a silver bullet. And therefore, that brings upon a very important question that there are some existing challenges that need to be answered in a way. Which, according to you, which are the areas in which AI is making an impact, and what are the other areas which you feel that HR practitioners are seeking better alignment, if I have to put it that way?
I'm really glad, Jomi, you brought this point up because I think this is where I would like to get some insights from the session itself. And let me share a part of conversation from this HROS coffee chat we had. Now, one of the participants shared their experience on using AI for better candidate sourcing and matching. While using these AI services, they are able to parse the unstructured documents like resumes and job descriptions very effectively. Even their matching services are working well as well, where they are able to shortlist the candidates against the jobs like without spending too much time, and AI is helping them. But the problem is when they reach out to the passive candidates identified through this AI based matching, many a times response they get from the candidate leads to a dead end because many a times candidates are not interested or they are not looking for the job. Now, fundamentally, this is a very classic case where individual AI features are working absolutely fine, but gaps are seen when it comes all together, right? When in this particular case, there is a need probably to first identify interested candidates even before sourcing them. And I'm sure there exist services which make use of NLP based chatbots to interact with the candidates to register their interest, seek their information on the jobs that are out there, and then process them into the sourcing channel, right? But in my point, I think the end users are facing a lot of challenges in putting all this together, while app builders are usually focused on solving their part of the puzzle where they are trying to add AI into the workflows they support, but nobody is looking at it from end-to-end perspective.
That's interesting, Mahesh. And yeah, I think that brings us to the real world problem. that AI and AI implementers, adopters and implementers must be facing. Like how to bring all of these things together in a working solution. So let's go a little deeper there. And in the past we have done a lot of integrations and help many customers bring workflows together, integrate a lot of systems and data to come up with unique perspectives. Now, is there something that has struck you? I mean, something, an example that you want to share to tell our viewers a little bit more about what you mean by integrating and making all of these things coexist and work together?
Of course, Shrikant, I think there are many instances that I can recall, and owing to the limited time that we have, just let me tell you about an implementation for AI in a background check application. Now, our customer had an interesting idea of utilizing data that they collect during background screening, which is to predict the employee performance in the organization post their joining. Now, your first reaction to this could be, oh, does this really fall under the background check workflows? And the simple answer is no. But if you look closely at the data that these background check applications are collecting, they have data about the candidates' employment history, their performance at different organizations in the past, feedback from their peers, and a lot more. Now, if we process this data correctly, it can definitely be used to sort of predict like the different post joining parameters such as their performance, how long they will stay with the organization, how well they will do in the first year, what is that motivates them to do better, and things like that. So point here is that HRTech application builders need to look at the bigger picture, and in case of our customer, though being into the background check space, they went a, like I would say a step ahead and try to utilize data and provide a solution which fits into the end-to-end scenario. That's where I think a good AI implementation requires a good quality data. And in order to get there, you need integration so that you are able to pull in that data from different sources and not just depend on what you have.
Cool. Mahesh, those lead to many more questions about, how do you do this? And I'm sure people will reach out to you for those questions as well. But because in the interest of time, I think my last question to you would be, what do you think about is the future state of AI? I mean, what's your take there?
Yes, I think we talked a lot about this connection between these workflows, and I think that's where it's going forward too. And now we started calling it a hyper automation trend, right? In coming years, where we'll see that AI, ML, and RPA coming together to provide more and more end-to-end AI assisted experience to the end users. And I think this also will help us in our journey towards adoption of IOB, which is essentially Internet of Behaviors. Now, IOB is bringing digital transformation, data analytics, and behavioral science together. Now, in my opinion, success of AI, data analytics, and behavioral science is interdependent. And that's where I'll not be at all surprised to see an adoption of hyperautomation and IOB in HRTech applications in next couple of or 2 or 3 years per se.
Great. And Mahesh, thanks for bringing that to our attention. And I feel, gathering from whatever both you and Shrikant have highlighted, I think there it is apparent that AI is here to stay, and therefore for all of you watching, this is an update that we had to give you. And if I have to summarize what Mahesh and Shrikant just spoke here today, number one is that data continues to be very important. The quality of data is also especially important if you wish to make use of AI. The second important part is that AI cannot be developed for certain workflows in pockets. Product builders need to look at solutions from end to end, make sure that all these moving pieces fit together, and therefore integrations is a important part of that. Where the future of AI is heading towards is point number three, which Mahesh just spoke about, is the evolvement of Internet of Behaviors, and especially hyper automation in the age of digital transformation, along with data analytics and behavioral science, is going to be where we are headed towards. So I hope that summarizes what we have spoken about today. Thank you so much for your time, Mahesh Kumar, and as you as well, Shrikant, for coming over and having this discussion for us with us. And for our viewers, in case you have any questions, feel free to write to us at consulting@harbingergroup.com, or you could also leave us a comment below, and we'll try our best to get back to you as soon as possible. For recordings of such point of views, you could also check up our website on www.harbinger-systems.com, or you could also stay tuned to our social media channels where you will get updated on many such point of view sessions in the future. I hope that you enjoyed listening in. So please let us know how you like the session, and do also let us know about what you'd like to hear more about in the upcoming point of view sessions. Thanks for listening in, and have a good day. Thank you.